but that trap was so poorly designed that only one person could activate it. Unless we all specifically decided to move forward, like, at the exact same time. But it was a stupid trap. Just cruel.
Alright, here's a question. And interpret it however you want, so don't ask me any follow-ups. We're gonna start with Nick. If you were stuck in a room and knew that you had to be there for a week with this party, with water but no food, what would you do?
If I was stuck in a room with our party for a week with water but no food, what would I do? I would probably get eaten.
No, because
That's a good answer.
Steve's character would be asleep, right? So we start with him. Her, Autumn, I think.
No, but let's look at this seriously. I'm just some slightly out of shape, fairly useless student type with no special skills. And I'm stuck in a room with a bunch of retarded, angry, combative people. Before anyone else could stop them, like Wreckage or someone would have torn off my limb and started chewing on it. Coltane would have just... yeah, whatever. Let's say he was there. Coltane would have just sighed and, like, sat in the corner and maybe, despaired at the situation. Autumn would have done nothing. Winter might have shot arrows at me for fun.
Yeah, but also consider, from our experience, this is an incredibly dumb group of individuals. No matter what their wisdom or intelligence numbers happen to be. Like, it shouldn't be that hard to talk them out of killing you and into, say, eating Autumn.
I don't think I'd get a chance. I think something stupid would happen before I was able to reason with them. So
I
yeah,
guess then stupidity does beat reason, doesn't it?
absolutely. I'm definitely going to stick with my answer of I would get eaten.
Alright, John.
Well, I think it's pretty simple. I'd help the collective as a whole and make a fire to cook the person we'd be eating.
Fair enough. What about the fumes, the smoke? It's in a room, right?
Oh,
It's true. I guess it's not airtight, otherwise you'd all suffocate before a week. It would depend on the size of the room. Oh, never mind. Alright, Stephen.
I don't know, I think Nick's got it pretty dead on. Although I might have stabbed a few things. I really can't say much more than that.
Dave?
alright. Well, I could truly believe that Nick got it right, that I would die in a matter of, like, minutes. So,
Minutes, wow.
just to spite everyone else, I would try to grab all the water skins, either drink all the water or pour all the water out, and then laugh at them. Because I'm pretty sure they can't survive a week without water.
Oh, he's a
So,
fighter.
ha! I go down with them, although I go down before them. So, Nick, I think you're safe for being the first one being eaten, because I think we're going to kill Wreckage first.
Yeah.
But I'm assuming we're not all in the room with all of our characters. It's like, if it was just us with our characters, we'd be so screwed.
I like how Dave mentioned a matter of minutes, because I can just picture it. Coltane saying, Alright folks, we've been trying to escape for a couple minutes now. Wreckage, are you already eating Dave?
Oh man, it's so true!
Actually, they did it on Family Guy, I think. Peter was already eating after they were shipwrecked for like half an hour, not even.
Eating Meg, I guess?
What was that?
Was it Meg?
I don't think the family was there. No, it was
No,
it was
I
like
think
the
it was the four
co-pilot.
friends. No, was it the
Okay.
Joe Quagmire in Cleveland? He was eating Joe's handicapped leg.
Oh yeah, okay, I saw that one.
Oh, I think there's two instances though. Actually, I seem to recall something about eating the co-pilots, or maybe that was on The Simpsons. Actually, yeah, I'm confusing The Simpsons and the Family Guy. Regardless, Doug.
Well, if you look at this logically, you are suddenly in a room with these strangers, and they're going to be just as confused as you are, right? The thing is, they're familiar to you, but you're not familiar to them. And everything is unfamiliar to them. Therefore, your unfamiliarity will be associated with them being in this strange room. So you have a sort of mental control over them when it comes to what's going on. So you should be able to stop them from killing you in seconds, by at least bluffing to a certain extent that, if you're not the direct reason that they're there, but you're the only reason, you would be the only way that they can safely get out. Does that
I
make
think
sense?
Doug is unfamiliar with Wreckage's interrogation techniques.
Also,
Well,
Interrogation.
yeah, what about Autumn? I mean, she would just... What does she do when she's unfamiliar with something? She stabs it.
I know.
Well, I mean, I get what Doug's saying. Like he would say, don't kill me. I know the way out, or I'm the reason, or whatever. He'd say something. But we've observed Wreckage trying to get information out of a hobgoblin by chopping off his leg and shoving it down his throat.
Yeah, but it's better than just sitting down and getting eaten.
Yeah, no, I
You
get.
gotta-
Yeah, definitely. Props for trying.
You gotta
Props for
make an
trying.
effort.
I don't think I wouldn't try. I just know we'd be screwed.
And at the very least, I could always just punch Coltane in the balls.
He would probably fumble his opportunity attack against you.
We got 2 questions left. This is actually a very good question. It's a shame that the answers we get will likely not be very exciting, but the question is, have you played other tabletop games, presumably other tabletop role-playing games other than D&D, such as GURPS, Paranoia, etc., and if so, what was your favorite? Nick?
Does Monopoly count?
No.
Oh.
Yeah, unfortunately, I have a boring answer. I've unfortunately never played any of these games.
John?
Tabletop D&D, but I don't know if it counts, but it used to be an old board game. I don't know if it's RPG-ish. It's Hero Quest. Basically, you had it can, I guess, a bit, but like you had like a character, like barbarian, mage, whatever, and then you chose, well, I think the gear you had. So it wasn't like RPG like plot, it was just more like going around killing stuff. But I mean, you did choose to a certain extent the items and abilities you had. So I mean, I don't know. It's up to you if that's RPG enough for you.
And that was a tabletop game.
Yeah, Hero Quest.
Multiplayer? Well,
Well, yeah.
interesting. Okay. So what was your favorite between, I guess, D&D and Hero Quest?
Oh, D&D. Hero Quest was fun. Hero Quest is like a stepping stone to D&D.
Cool. Steven?
Does Munchkin count?
Oh God, Munchkin. It's not really tabletop, and there's no role-playing involved. Just learning to hate your friends more and more.
Oh, that's by Steve Jackson Games. That's where I've heard of him before.
Yeah, I played that with my ex and her boyfriend, and her boyfriend hates us because we team up against.
Was she your ex while you were playing with us, or was like she was your girlfriend and his girlfriend at the same time?
No, she was my ex.
Oh, okay.
Other
Okay,
than
so
that-
what was your favorite?
Other than that, the only thing I've ever played is D&D, and if Munchkin counts, I like that one because it's evil and you hate everyone. That's fun.
Alright. Dave?
Well, the only tabletop RPGs I've ever played are, well, D&D. Unless you count Risk. Does Risk count?
There's no RPG elements to Risk, no.
Well, yeah, there is. You can, pretend that you're a soldier and you go, huzzah! Invade Quebec!
There are there are no intentional RP mechanics.
You could roleplay and
Aw.
speak with the
Yeah.
accent of your country.
I could
Yeah, you
roleplay
could.
poker if I want. I mean,
We should do.
I love role-playing in
poker is a
poker.
role-playing game, right?
To a certain extent, yeah. To a certain extent, it is.
But how come you always play the stripper, Doug? You should try some other roles.
Oh, that is just wrong.
but
Or
Dave,
at least stop losing.
we could maybe count like the Guy Melf campaign, because it wasn't straight up D&D. It was mostly based on D20 Modern, which is not D&D.
Well, in that case, I have to say that the Gaimelov campaign was the shits. Primarily because I got to screw around with the brain of a whale.
Oh god, I remember the story.
And for the record, you mean the shits in a good way, right?
Oh
He-
yeah,
he
the shits
probably
in
means
a
the
good way.
shit, not the shits.
Yes, I can see why that could be misleading.
Trying to think. Did we play any other variant? I think that was the only real
No.
variant, right?
All I remember was Alexei being in a diamond-suited Gaimelov shooting fireballs at enemy infantry. And then you had to split them up because he was getting too much XP.
Right, so just to explain for those of you who are like, what the hell's going on here, we call the Guy Malif campaign, that wasn't the actual name of the campaign. It was based on Escaflowne, which is an anime which involves mechas in a sort of steampunk, medieval-esque era. And the rules were a variant on the D20 Modern, I think D20 Future actually, but I think that falls with under the D20 Modern title. It was mostly homebrewed, but it was based heavily on the D20 Modern / D20 Future system.
Here's a question. Why haven't we done anything like that yet?
Why haven't you done anything like what specifically?
Some random thing, like that thing you were talking about. Yeah. Something that's not strictly D&D.
I'm trying to figure out what kind of answer you're looking for here.
Like, why haven't we done any campaigns like that one you mentioned? Not specifically
what?
that one.
So is your
something-
question, why haven't we stopped playing this campaign before finishing it to do something else?
Actually, never mind. Just forget I said that. I just realized how stupid it is because I'm too tired.
Okay, so Doug.
Short answer, no. As much as I'd like to. Played a lot of Magic the Gathering back in the day. I got close to playing, was it Battletech? I think. The sort of mech warrior one. I did play a lot of serious role play on a Ultima Online shard, which was based in a Tolkien universe, which was a lot of fun. But tabletop, not really. Sorry.
Man, I miss Folkwar.
I don't even remember what it was called.
I'm confused as to what that is.
Folkwar was the name of one of the admins. He was nice.
Oh, I see. I meant I have no idea what you were talking about before that.
Ultima Online was, I guess, the first MMO in a certain sense of.
Oh, you said
massively-
Ultima. I didn't hear it.
Sorry, am I not enunciating very well?
No. I just missed it. Like, I wasn't paying attention.
Enunciating.
What did I say?
Oh, it was just funny the way you said it. It's like a mix of enunciate and announce.
Sorry.
So Doug, basically, you have nothing really to compare D&D to, so by default D&T is your favorite?
Yeah, like, I mean, this was my first D&D experience that wasn't, on a computer. So I guess that makes it my favorite. Sorry.
And your least favorite, too?
Yeah.
Alright, as for myself, primarily I've played D&D. I've never played GURPS, but I'm familiar with the rules. I've been published in a few of the GURPS magazines, which is kind of sad that I haven't played the game. I've played Warcraft RPG, D20 Modern. I've never played Star Wars RPG, but I familiarized myself with the rules. Stargate RPG, or well, some form of Stargate tabletop. I think it was just a variant of D20 Modern, actually. But yeah, overall, D&D is my favorite.
Stargate sounds like it would have been awesome.
What is it?
Only if you could use a sarcasm attack.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is when you start bringing guns into it, you need a really robust system, and I don't like the way D20 Modern handles it.
Okay, fair enough.
Alright, last question. This is okay, yeah, last question. How did you get into playing D&D? Nick.
Interesting. I had heard of it before because my oldest brother, not Doug, I have another one, I think, had played it once, and I thought it was cool, but I was too young then for him to allow me to join in with his friends. And then I played some computer games that were D&D based, Baldur's Gate and Neverwinter Nights and stuff. And then I'd always wanted to try playing D&D, but I had no one to play with. And one day this guy that I knew from university, called CJ, was like, "Hey Nick, you expressed an interest in D&D," and that's how it happened.
Refresh my memory. How did you express an interest in D&D to me? Or why would you have? I don't recall publicizing the fact that I play.
Alright, let's put it this way. One day this CJ guy asked me what my thoughts on D&D were, somewhat out of the blue. Potentially because I had in the past mentioned wanting to play. I don't know why that would have come up. Maybe I was talking about computer games I played, and I, went on a tangent and mentioned how I'd always wanted to play D&D. But he said, "What do you think of D&D?" Because, he was afraid I might be one of those people who thought D&D was nerdy. He didn't want to reveal himself to me. And I was like, "Oh, D&D, man, I've always wanted to play. That would be cool." And he went, "I see." And then a long time later, he was like, "What were your thoughts on D&D again? Alright, are you interested in trying it?"
After making it through my 3-month screening process. Full background check.
And then he found out that I am enough of a nerdy kind of guy, geeky kind of guy. Not that I think D&D is actually expressly for geeks only. 'Cause I think I'm pretty cool, but whatever. My brother plays, and he's a tough guy, so...
Vin Diesel plays, and he could bend half of us into a pretzel. Alright, John.
I believe I started with that Hero Quest thing, and then after you got my brother Carl into it, and he got me into it, and he got my neighbor into it, and we pretty much been playing, the three of us. And then my neighbor got a couple of his friends into it, and we had a little gaming group for a good 3 years. Then I joined your group, your tabletop group, and now here we are.
So lucky. The youth I never had.
So how long ago was that, John? When you first got into D&D?
Oh, I don't even remember. I want to say 11, 12 maybe?
So what was that, 9 years ago? 8 years ago?
Yeah, 8, 9 years.
Alright, Steven.
I don't remember. Do you? I think you asked me or something. Just randomly one time.
I knew he was gonna say I don't remember.
I don't remember half the shit I say 10 minutes after I've said it.
It's like you've only been in the world 43% of the time you have been in it.
I
Alright.
I think it was something along the lines of you asking me about it. Other than that, I actually don't remember. It was years ago. 2, I think. 1, 2, I don't know. I don't remember.
Alright, Dave.
I think it was in Sec 4 or Sec 5 that I first started playing. Actually, it started off with me and a
So in college, right?
No, high school.
Oh, sorry, right.
Sec 5, yeah. I was in high school. Because I remember a bunch of us, we were starting, we wanted to play Warhammer 40k at first. That was the first thing we wanted to do. But then, 3 of us actually bought models. 2 of us actually painted and built the models. 1 of us didn't do it, and that was me. Because I was too lazy. And there was, a couple other guys that were interested, but it was, too expensive back then. So then we were like, well, what other tabletop game could we play? No one wanted to play Monopoly or Risk. So then we decided, there was one guy that had already played D&D with his brothers and stuff like that. So he was like, yeah, I'll DM. And then we started playing D&D. Although, it was kind of stupid. It was more like shouting matches of who was, the guy with the bigger balls at first. Because I think it was, one wizard, and he was like, yeah, I have fireballs. And then after that, it kind of died off. And then my D&D experience, revived when we met in CJEP, yeah. That was a much better experience than with my high school friends who were just... They were cheating. There was a guy who, It was his turn. He took the dice, went into the kitchen, rolled his dice, and came back and said he had 18 on his like damage rolls. We were like, what the fuck?
Wow, so despite a horrible first experience, you stuck through it.
Well, I knew that they were retards at first, right? So I'm guessing that anything that starts off with retards cannot be a good sign anyway, so.
Alright, and Doug.
Oh, well, a long time ago when I was a wee little boy, I was an avid, I've always been an avid computer gamer. Like, I'm not old enough to have been there for the earliest stages, but I was there for some of the real old stuff. And, naturally, Dungeons and Dragons was one of the like I guess a pre-made model of game that people just try to convert onto computers. So I played a few of the really old conversions. And then of course, you know, the classics: Baldur's Gate, Neverwinter Nights, Icewind Dale, Pool of Radiance, I think was the other one. But I never. So I always knew what Dungeons and Dragons was, but I never had an opportunity to play the real thing until my brother went to university and he met this man with this deep, sexy voice who seduced him to come on over and roll some dice. And so I guess, you know, I saw Nick was having these sessions, and he was having so much fun, and I was like, hey Nick, can I play? Do you ever need another guy? And Nick eventually said maybe, and he set me up with Deep Sexy Voice. And we did a little tryout, and he was like, well, you're okay. So here I am.
Did you have to make that sound so wrong?
I was trying to make it sound wronger, but I actually couldn't.
Wait, Doug, I thought you had played D&D before. You had like a cleric or something?
Oh, no, that's true, I'd forgotten. Yeah, one time at my friend's house, instead of playing poker, we played Dungeons and Dragons. But it was a real quick, like slap together characters that were printed right off the internet. And it was like just one little, I guess, dungeon where we killed some goblins and then a big wolf. But it wasn't. I guess it was Dungeons and Dragons. No, thanks for reminding me, CJ. I wasn't lying to you on my resume.
As for myself, about 12 years ago, I got a hold of a Diablo 2 version of Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. It was gifted to me, and that's how I became interested in Dungeons and Dragons. From there, I have a cousin who played back in the 80s, and when he found out that D&D interested me, he mailed me his old... it was basically his entire DM binder, complete with all his notes and his maps and just loads of awesome stuff. But apart from that, obviously also the rule books, his illegal photocopies of the rule books, I should say. And so that was, I think, first edition that he sent me, and so that was pretty cool. From there, I made the investment, $100 investment, bought the 3 third edition rule books.
Wait, is this the cousin that played with us in
Peter, yes.
Yeah, Pete. Yeah, he was badass in every single way.
That's the end of our Q&A session. Our next adventure will not be beginning soon. We're still maybe about a month away or so, probably around the end of August, but I'm thinking for the next few weeks we can do some show matches between the PCs, just mock battles. Obviously these battles wouldn't actually happen in real life, and we'll even include Wreckage and Autumn, since we still have their character sheets around. we'll be, matching up battles, either one-on-one, or we can do some team matches, or free-for-alls, or 3-on-1, or whatever. If anyone has any suggestion for a match that they'd like to see between the PCs, the current live PCs, and Wreckage and Autumn, don't go pick Zach, Sard, and whatever. We don't have those character sheets anymore, unfortunately. Let us know, and we'll make it happen.